On change management, rebooting software industry for tomorrow. I hope there was an article from the newsline of NASCOM also, and there are quite a lot of inputs and perspectives about this, how the industry is going to change, what is the kind of a transformation which the industry is going through, and the sort of protectionism issues, and further a lot of other more challenges. But from a small and mid-sized enterprise or the company's point of view, its ground level is entirely different. There are a lot more jobs are available, there are a lot of supply is there, a lot of demand is also there. But whereas the challenge with large companies is entirely different. So let us look at today's topic, and we have two great distinguished speakers. Let us welcome Venkatarangan and Shankar Narayanan. Venkat is an entrepreneur, he's an innovator, Microsoft Regional Director, founder and until recently the CEO of Wishpak Solutions, most of you would be knowing, a technology firm offering software and services and products. He's a career spanning about 20 years, had incorporated companies in India, US and UK, brought in investments, set up offices, designed products, hired talent and built great delivery teams. He's actively involved in technology and business associations, mentored several technology companies in Chennai, one of the earliest Microsoft certified professionals in India. Venkat speaks at various forums on Microsoft technology. He is committed to knowledge sharing. He's a prolific blogger. He blogs on a wide range of subjects covering business and technology. He gives keynote address on entrepreneurship, digital transformation and language computing. Thank you, Venkat, for joining today's program.
Change, whenever you want to change, it's very difficult. It's not that we don't know what to change. All of us are smart people. Many of us have been in the industry for many years, not necessarily this industry. But then we've also tried to do change. Change is not easy to do. I've tried doing simple changes top down in my organization. It doesn't work. You can't dictate. Only in armies you can dictate changes. In organizations, it's extremely difficult. Like the famous saying, culture beats strategy as for breakfast any single day. So like that change is extremely difficult. So that's what we want to talk. As we move on in this first, we have planned it as 4 sessions. I'll talk about the rest of the 3 sessions in the end. But in the first session, I want to set some context and to start making you think. And then in the next 3 sessions, one of the things me and Shankar, we want to do is give you as much tools as possible so that you can go back and use these tools to change. That is what we are trying to attempt. And you don't need to take notes, you're free to take notes, but all our presentations, everything is available on this URL. All the references we have used, everything is already available in that URL, bit.li, NASCOM change management, it's already out there. There is GE CEO. He was making this very interesting quote, I think a couple of years back in one of the GE innovation forums. We believe that every industrial company will become a software company. Very powerful statement if you think about it. You can't be any more manufacturing than GE. GE symbolizes manufacturing, and he's saying every company is going to become a software company. And you see the numbers, the top 5 companies by market cap today are all software companies. To see software in every aspect today. Most of us will be carrying a fitness band, or this doesn't seem like a joke anymore, what I put on the slide. Your doctor could be having more information about you, that what you're eating probably takes the fun out. Everything is becoming software. So as software company, all of us, I believe in this room, are from software industry. In one way or other, either we are a services company, we are a products company, or we are a cloud company, whatever you talk it. At the end of the day, we are all software company. So we should be excited about this world, where software is eating the world. Mark Anderson's quote on 2011. So we should be really excited. So why are we talking this gloom? We shouldn't be. We should be the people who are so excited on this world. We should be leading this world because everything is becoming software. But the fact of the matter is, the way we have done IT so far, and the way we see ourselves or the future for us seems to be very different. So we see there is a fundamental change. What was lava has become a butterfly, but the butterfly is flying, but we are not seeing it, or we see it, but then we are afraid of flying. It's either one of that. But then that is going to, once we fly, we can cover a lot more distance. So the way we see this forward is the industry has got much, much better scope more scope to grow, more scope to bloom, more scope to do more things, because everything is becoming software. There can be no industry which doesn't need us. Nobody, and not all the companies can write software, so they require us more than ever. But the thing is, we need to change. That's the bottom line, and we certainly need help to do the changes. That's the important thing. We know we have to change, but then how do we change? Change is extremely difficult. Change is fear. The minute when I say change, it's fear. That's the first expression you will get to do. You'll be presenting your tools that you can go back to your organization and start using this when you want to do change. Lastly, remember this for the next 2 hours if you can, that fundamental response to change is not logical. It's always emotional. If it's logical, we don't need this session. We just decide what to change, brainstorm, and then magically it gets done. But the fundamental response from everybody is emotional. Once we decide to change, how do we change? And that's a very, very thing. I never realized change could be difficult, but then when I was reflecting, many things what I wanted to do in my organization, simple things which many of you also would have had very similar experiences. We wanted to move to, a couple of years back, maybe 4 or 5 years back, we wanted to move to a distributed or a cloud-based source control system, as simple as that, from our own version control, VSS or CVS or whatever we were running in-house. And even from, as a CEO, I was saying, okay, let everybody, all 100 of us, let's move it to a cloud-based source control system. It didn't happen for many years. My PMs came back and said all the reasons why this couldn't be done. And my developers said all the reasons why this is going to be a disaster. And you see, it's a fundamental thing was, there is a change in their everyday workflow, which people were hesitant. And Linus was really pissed off, and he said, okay, you guys are trying to help, and then you are really messing things up. And then he said, over a weekend, now you're forcing me to light a source control system, distributed source control system. And he evaluated CVS and all that and said why they don't, for example, if you want to do a complete dump down on your machine, those other products were taking a couple of hours. So Linus Torvald obviously is a brilliant guy, so he was able to write a distributed source control system over a weekend, and that became JIT. Okay, so the only way to move Linus and was for you to do something really bad. Anyways, so let's come here. We'll talk about how do we reboot our system, how do we write our own JIT in our own industry. And we all of us have a sense that the ways we did things in the past are not going to be the way in which we do things in the future. So how do we change? Again, going by the tool Shankar provided, there are only 3 ways in which broadly any change management happens. Your business model, or your process, in this case engineering, or your products and services. You think of anything else can come under this 3 buckets. So let's look at the next 45 minutes, let's try to look at what we can change in software industry. I'm going to be throwing you some of the ideas, and maybe even we can make it interactive if you want to chip in. The basic idea is to make you think that these are the possibilities that which we can think of. Each of our industries are very different. What is true for somebody in products could be very different for what is somebody in services. Let's go do that. In my company, Vishwak Solutions, we are a typical IT services company. We were doing a lot of services for Microsoft. We do SharePoint implementations and so on. So we were talking about a year back saying, okay, we are hearing a lot of these things about artificial intelligence, prediction and all that. What can we do? So going by the Meerkat's example, we said, okay, let's start a small team which will do something. And as usual, we always start that particular team. A customer project comes, we take people only first from that particular project. But then luckily, we kind of came out with a product that's called Simplogic. And I'll also give you a background. This again to just give you the context. Our customers in India are media companies, Malay Muller, Daily Tandi, Inadu, all these are our customers. They run on our product framework, and we also do services primary revenue. So when we were doing this, we were having conversations with our customers. Many of them have been our customers for 7-8 years. The conversation, we try to suggest them that they can do something on the app or on website, and thing, but their conversation always will come back on advertisement revenues. As you know, none of these sites are subscription revenues. That doesn't take it off in India. Not to say it won't, but at the moment it is not. It's all advertisement driven. So whatever we were proposing to the customer as suggestions were all turned down if we didn't have an advertisement angle. So one of the other idea for this R&D experiment we were doing, can we come with something and we can show the customer rather than just talk about prediction, I can predict stories better, I can do this for you. Can we show something to them? And I wanted it to be very drastic. Okay, so that's the background. I'll show you a small 30 seconds video about the product and I'll also explain, but that's the context.
How about a mobile app that lets you just read and not make you go through a list before reaching the story you like? Welcome to the simplest news app in the world, Simpligic. There are no categories to select, no settings to do, no buttons to click. Just launch the app, read a story, and you are done. Our patent-pending algorithm scans for stories from multiple categories of local US news, entertainment, and many more. Sit back and enjoy Simpligic. It's free for today and forever.
So that's the kind of the app. What we set out to do was, we didn't want any settings absolutely. Typically all the news apps you would have used, whether it is Guardian, BBC, anything, had a list of stories. You have to scroll and choose a story that you want and read and come back. The listing is the primary functionality of any news app. Even pick up a newspaper, it's basically a listing of all stories the editor has found out important to be putting on the home page. So what we wanted to do, we set out to do is, can we drastically change this? Our idea was to shake up our customer and say, think of how you are presenting this very differently. That was the whole idea. We didn't go and tell them, we initially tried telling them all this prediction, artificial intelligence, all that, which we ourselves didn't understand what it is, but we wanted the customer to pay so that we can learn. But once we realized that's not going to work, we said we'll first build it and then we'll go and tell the customer. So we told them, okay, this is an app, and we showed them the app. So this is what is the app. It's very easy. The simplest app for anybody to demo. You just launch the app, it will give you a story. That's about it. Nothing else you can do. Okay, you can download this and check out, but it's only on the US market and we launched it. So you just launch the app, it will pick up a story and give it to you. It's not random. That's the whole premise of this particular app. And we didn't ask you to set anything. We don't ask you to, a lot of these personalization apps, like your Flipboards of the world, etc., ask you to choose the categories that you are interested in. What we try to do here is, we initially try to pick up only those things that we know about you. What is the location are you? What time are you from? And some other things that the device per se provides. And then we try to map you into somebody who has already been. So the business model, how do we change? How do we relook at our business model? We have been very comfortable in the services industry and the time and material and the projects model. It's very, or by what I call as the money in the customer's wallet. Some of the times you get a project RFP, you have no clues, like many of us do, on how much time does it take to do this particular project. So we just only ask, okay, how much money you got? Okay, let's backtrack on that. Okay, you got 5 lakhs? Okay, let me do this. You got 50 lakhs? Okay, that's interesting. Let's start doing something more. You got 5 crores, now you're talking. Okay, let's sit down. So, but that's not a good model to do with. But I was talking to my friends in infrastructure, they are also saying pretty much we do the same way. So it's not very different. So this is an interesting quote again. Pessimism and denials are definitely not good business models. So we need to be doing something else. I'll also show you some data for the business models. Like in the afternoon, we were starting that the industry is growing in single digits, like 8%, 9% is what we are growing. But look at some of these numbers there. This is Gartner's projection for the next 5 years, compound annual growth. One thing which caught my eye, very interesting in this, is the enterprise software space, the second line. That's growing at 6.8%. More importantly, it's a $450 billion, $430 billion opportunity. How many of the Indian IT service player are actually garnering this? Out of the $150 billion, how much of this $430 billion are we making? I doubt. So It's a big chunk. It's a big chunk of revenue we are leaving on the table just in this one particular portion. What is the attempt we are doing to actually garner something out of this pie for us to grow? Think about it. And the opportunity. One of the opportunities, okay, there is many opportunity. I only try to capture 2 or 3 of them which I wanted to drill down. That doesn't exclude all the other opportunities. One of the opportunities is clearly the open source. How much are we doing in garnering the open source dollars? And when I say open source, there's a lot of things I'll elaborate it. The first question we need to ask is how much of our own IT is running on open source? Okay, again, I'm not meaning just running Linux and Apache server and saying I'm open source. That's not what I'm meaning. Okay, what do I mean by open source? How many, let's again step back a little and ask ourselves, how many times have any of us in this room have gone to our customer and said, you are running Oracle database and you are paying $1 million to Oracle, or probably $100,000. I can move you to MySQL. Have any of us? Also, look at this. Out of the top contributing companies to GitHub projects, top 10 are all Microsoft, Facebook. There's this product called Atom, which is an IDE for developing code. There's no Indian company, not even in the top 50. Infosys has 150,000 or 200,000 people. Aren't there any smart people who can contribute to GitHub? Though GitHub don't think it's all complex projects. The other day I contributed something to GitHub on a time where this was a JavaScript library, which if you give it time, it will give you in the locale on your language for Tamil. And it so turned out this library was only returning Tamil numericals, which I couldn't even understand what is it. So I wanted to have an alternate thing and say TA-IN rather than only TA, for which I just wrote an array and gave the numbers, and there was some other tweaks I had to do. It took me about 1 hour, okay, and that's a contribution I did for one of the JavaScript libraries. There's n number of those. But how many of those contributions are made by our bigger companies? Discount bigger companies, they are not in this room. Let's take our smaller companies. How many of us are encouraging our people to spend half an hour, 1 hour, 5 minutes, 10 minutes on doing GitHub contributions? Why is it important? Let me come to that a little later. But just think about, are we doing this? We taking it from, I'm not talking karma here. Please don't think that we are only, I'm complaining, okay, we are taking open source projects, we are not contributing. That's not my point here. Okay? But we are not spending or even thinking. Why is it important? It's because unless you contribute to those open source projects, you won't understand how they work. Unless you contribute to Postgres project in a very simple way, you won't be confident on offering Postgres to your customer. Are we doing that? Think about that. Let's switch gears, move on to the next opportunity, cloud. We talk about cloud, a lot of people talk about cloud. Media is excited about cloud, as if everything goes and sits in the cloud. No. In reality, what's happening with cloud? Again, I'm only slicing something, it's not the full picture. What's happening to cloud? We are taking our existing code written in whatever, C++, C#, whatever, and just moving it as VMs to cloud. We are only delaying the problem for some other time we are not rewriting any of the projects. In fact, none of us even the companies know how some of the projects are written.